Welcome to A Few Minutes with the CEO. My name is Al O'Grady, and for the next few minutes, we'll be talking to the President and CEO of Hinterland Metlas, Mr. Mark Fekete. Hinterland Metlas is a junior resource company with a number of projects in the Yukon and also Quebec. Now, the date of today's recording is Friday, January 21st. Yesterday, the company made a very important announcement about spinning off some of its assets and forming a new company. We'll be talking more about that in just a moment. Hinterland trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol HMI. Mr. Fekete, welcome back to the program.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Mark, as I said in my introduction, you have spun off some of your assets, forming a new company. Walk us through this. Tell us more about that, what's going on, and more importantly, why you're doing it.
Well, mainly the reason for this is that over the last 18 months to 2 years, we've been getting a lot of different phone calls from various shareholders. It seems to be split right down the middle. With the discovery of gold in the White Gold area in Yukon, we picked up a property called Ballarat, and there's been a lot of interest in our participation in that play. But there's also a lot of shareholders that are very interested in the rare earth element play, which is ongoing throughout the world. But in particular, we have a property in Quebec called Kippawa, and it's right next to a company called Matamek that's got a fairly good resource, and there's been a lot of interest in our rare earth properties as well.
Okay, someone that's new to the story, what's the name of the new company, and when will it be trading on the TSX Venture?
We haven't picked a name yet. The lawyers are doing the incorporation right now, and we've submitted a number of names, and we'll see what comes there. If everything goes well with this transaction, there's quite a bit involved. We have to go to a vote of shareholders. We have to get court approval, and then we have to meet the listing requirements for the new company with the TSX Venture Exchange. So optimistically, we're looking to close this in 2.5 to 3 months.
Okay, fair enough, and we'll certainly be following the developments on that front. Let's talk about some of your projects. Obviously, you're kind of splitting your interest between the Yukon and Quebec. What do you like better? Where's your priority right now?
Well, I think they're all really good projects, but the problem is we just haven't been getting value in the market for our portfolio of properties, and that's really what's behind this split. We're hoping that by defining our exploration focus for each company, the NewCo will be strictly a Yukon gold company, whereas the Hinterland will keep its Ontario and Quebec properties and be focused on rare earths right now, but we also have a portfolio of really good gold properties in the Abitibi region.
Okay, let's get into specifics, and let's talk about some of these properties. Let's start with the Yukon. I know the Ballarat, you're really big on that. Give us the rundown on that.
Well, Ballarat's our flagship property. We staked it back in May of 2009 when the underworld discovery was made at the White Gold deposit, which is held now by Kinross. We've done quite a bit of work there, soil sampling, airborne geophysics. We've outlined 2 really good soil geochem anomalies. We're just about ready to drill these anomalies. We need a little bit more work to tweak them. We're pretty excited about that. In soils, we've got values up to 792 ppb gold, which is right off the scale. This area has just exploded after the discovery of Underworld, which was subsequently taken over by Kinross. The second player in that area is Kaminak. They were working all year in 2010. They had some fantastic drill intersections. It looks like they're into a monster. I should say we're about halfway between the two. It's 20 kilometers from Ballarat down to Kaminak and about 15 kilometers north up to Kinross White Gold. The amount of staking that's been done over the last 2 years is unbelievable. Yukon is definitely in play right now.
It does really seem to be that the White Gold District is going to be the area to watch for 2011, isn't it?
Yukon in general, there's been not only the White Gold and the Kaminak discoveries, but a company called ATAC made a spectacular discovery up in the Keno Hill area. And also another company called Northern Tiger. In September this year, they announced spectacular intersections on the other side of Yukon, on the border with the Northwest Territories. That's pretty important for us because we knew some prospectors that have been working for a number of years out in the same area just north of the Northern Tiger discovery, which is called 3A's. And in October, we signed an agreement with them to option their claims. And we call that one Golden Culvert, and we're pretty excited about that as well. The 2 gentlemen, the 2 prospectors that I mentioned, they've already spent about $145,000 on the property. and they've outlined a number of showings. The best one is running 22.8 grams per ton gold, and it's basically a turnkey operation with not too much work. We'll be able to get that to the drill-ready status or stage by July or August next summer.
Yeah, you're certainly in excellent company as far as the Yukon is concerned. Let's talk more about Quebec and rare earth elements. What's going on there? I'm trying to think of the name of the project that you have. Kippawa, am I saying that right?
Yeah, we call it the Kippawa property. It's in the Kippawa area, which is only about 5 hours away from Toronto by road. It's an area with excellent infrastructure. There's lots of logging roads in the area. It's also the Kippawa area is a key component to the Hydro-Quebec system. There's a number of hydroelectric dams there. So we've got roads, we've got railways, we've got hydroelectric right there. But more importantly, we're right next door to Matamek. They've got a deposit there called Zeus. Zeus was kind of discovered back in 1975 for rare earths, but as these metals go up and down, the interest in that area waned, and there wasn't too much work done. But with the Chinese restricting exports of rare earths for the last 2 years, they've been really in vogue.
Yeah. Which rare earth elements specifically are there that you're looking at?
Rare earths always occur together. The basic division is into the heavies and the light rare earths. What's appealing about Kippawa, aside from its great access and infrastructure, is that it has a higher percentage of what we call the heavy rares, and you fetch a better a dollar for those than the light rare earths. Okay.
Mark, do some crystal ball gazing. What's going to be happening with the company in the next 3 to 6 months? Not on the corporate front, but more on the project development side.
The Yukon projects are dormant right now. Obviously, it's very cold up there and not too much daylight. We won't be doing anything with them until May or June this year. We're not standing still, though. We'll have a very active winter season here in Quebec on the Kippawa rare earth property. We'll be cutting grids here shortly and doing some geophysics. What works really well there, the best success that we've had in the Kippawa area is with soil sampling. Our initial compilation of the area, we identified quite a number of targets from the government data, the soil or the stream sediment data. In late in 2009, we did some cursory soil sampling work there, and it lit right up. It really is a good technique. So starting in April, May, we'll have a very large soil sampling program in that area. We're also working on what we call our Moulin Rouge property. It's a gold property in the Quevillon area. We'll be doing a little bit of work there, and also on our Lac Fekete property, which is also in the Quevillon area. But our main focus over the next 6 months will be the Kippawa rare earth.
Okay, all these things cost money. What's your balance sheet like? How well are you financed?
Right now we have about $1.5 million in the bank. $400,000 of that is flow through. That $400,000 will be dedicated entirely to the exploration effort in Quebec. The spin-out is fairly costly with new listing fees and legal fees, court fees, all that sort of thing. We're looking at about anywhere from $200,000 to $300,000. Concurrent with the spin-out, we'll be doing financings for both companies. We expect each company to be raising anywhere from $1.5 to $4 million.
Okay. Mark, that's it as far as the formal questions are concerned. As always, my guest gets the last word. Any final thoughts? Anything you'd like to add right now?
I've as a manager, the president of the company, I've been pretty frustrated by our low share price. And I think the fact that we've got a large portfolio of properties, we're involved in Yukon, we're involved in Quebec, we're involved in Ontario, we have gold properties, platinum, palladium properties, rare earth properties. And I think by splitting these various assets out by geography and really giving focus to these new vehicles, I think the investor, both at the retail and the professional institutional level, will have a much better idea of what we've got in terms of value, and it should, going forward, it should reflect in the share price.
Okay. On that note, Mark, I want to thank you very much for your time and sharing your thoughts with us about Hinterland Metals.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And Hinterland Metals trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol HMI. And you've been listening to Mark Fekete, President and CEO of Hinterland Metals, on A Few Minutes with the CEO, produced by RBL Communications. I'm Al O'Grady. Thanks for joining us.